I think the favorite part for me is the change that I see in women kind of moving from that, oh, I'm pregnant, I'm excited, into being a mom.
The Carolina Community Maternity Center is a freestanding birth center conveniently located in Fort Mill, South Carolina.
All of us as midwives who are trained in out-of-hospital birth felt that women of the greater Charlotte area needed another option. There was nothing like a birth center in this area.
Christine was apprenticing with me, and then I met Lisa when she moved to the area. We had sort of talked about this a little bit, and we actually looked at some property and weren't really going anywhere with it until Lee moved to the area, and she came to this area specifically to open a birth center too. And so when the four of us got together, it just fell into place.
My first impression from the outside, I didn't know it was going to be as home-like as it is. Each room just makes you feel at ease.
When someone comes into our care at the birth center, they choose the midwife that they want to work with, and they see that midwife throughout their whole labor and delivery and then postpartum. So you really get the opportunity to build a trust and a relationship with that person.
I've called her a few times and she's very responsive, and she's like, oh, I feel so much better now having talked to her, and it's just, that's such a gift.
It's not just the moment of delivery. It's the entire process, all the way from the beginning of prenatal care to that postpartum visit.
No doubt this is the best prenatal care you're going to find in the area.
Any anxieties I had, she totally took away when I would meet with her.
So we have a lot of different classes that we offer. We have a free basic childbirth class that is open to the public. Anyone can take that. And the breastfeeding class is also free of charge. Then we have Bradley, which is a childbirth method. Lamaze, everyone's heard of that. Hypno babies, which is very popular. That's a newer style. Then we also have baby sign language, which is kind of neat. And you can do it before you have the baby or afterwards with the baby. And same with infant massage. We also have infant CPR, which is taught by a certified CPR instructor. We have a free breastfeeding class. It's taught by a lactation consultant, and that's free for everybody. On Saturdays, we have yoga, prenatal yoga for moms that are expecting. And then after that class, there is a mom and baby yoga class, so people can bring their babies and do yoga with their babies.
We love the classes here at the birth center. They're very convenient, and everyone was so nice, lots of responses, and I felt like we had a tremendous amount of support.
The most important thing that I would love for people to take away from my class is focus more on the positive, as in you do not know what this little person is going to end up being in life. But just know that this person being alive is going to touch somebody else's life, as a husband, as a father, as a wife. Concentrate on that. The birth itself is one day, but there's a whole lifetime beyond that birth.
I would walk out of the class always laughing because I would have more questions than any of the ladies in that room.
I think up to this point, I've delivered probably around 400 babies.
I'm somewhere in the 500 range now.
The care that you receive, I don't see any mother not appreciating that.
When I went into labor, she let me progress on my own, hands-free. And she just pretty much left it up to me, what I wanted to do, where I wanted to be. We had a water birth, which is the first I've done. Yeah. So that was a very positive experience.
Women get in the water and have a feeling of weightlessness, of total relaxation. It can help them to progress in their labor.
I was able to be in the water, be in the tub. I was also able to try different positions to see what would work best.
And then when I was hands-on through the whole process, it was, definitely felt the connection.
Then we just keep them here for monitoring and make sure that both mom and baby are stable before they're just discharged home. And typically that's on average between 3 and 4 hours postpartum.
They ask you what you need to do, where you want to go, and what would make you most comfortable.
We also have lots of postpartum support for moms for breastfeeding. So people come back with their babies every few days. We weigh the baby, we talk to mom about how breastfeeding's going, and help, hands-on help to make sure that everything is going well.
Meet a few midwives, see what you think about them, ask them any question in the world, and all of them know the answer. If they don't, they can point you to someone who knows your answer.
Most insurance companies will cover the birth center and a licensed midwife. Sometimes it's at the out-of-network level, but a lot of companies allow for what are called in-network exceptions or gap exceptions. And that's where we apply to the insurance company on the client's behalf and say, hey, you don't have any providers in your network that can provide this service in this setting, so will you please cover it at the in-network level? And we're successful many times with that. We're also able to take Medicaid here at the birth center. Anyone who is covered by South Carolina Medicaid can receive our services here. North Carolina Medicaid won't pay us directly, so we do offer a significant discount off of our cash rates. We take 50% off for clients who can show that they qualify for North Carolina Medicaid.
When a woman's in labor with her first baby, that moment when she first sees her baby is like magic. Because when she's in labor, it's almost like she doesn't realize that there's going to be a baby in the room soon. With everything her body's going through, she's so focused. She knows in her head that she's having a baby, but in her heart, she doesn't really understand that. And then all of a sudden, this baby's here.
My midwife set me up for how I parent and how I mother, because she spent 10 months with me, and you think of being pregnant as preparing for labor and childbirth, but it's preparing for parenthood. And she helped me believe in my body and myself and my instincts.